Next example, a parallelogram has a perimeter of 97.8 centimeters. So if I'm looking at a parallelogram, I know that side is going to be equal to that side, and this side is going to be congruent to that side. Those sides are congruent, those sides are congruent. I know all the way around is going to be 97.8. So the perimeter for a parallelogram is side 1 plus side 2 plus side 3 plus side 4. So perimeter is going to be 97.8. And if we have two sides that are 38.9 centimeters long, and since they didn't specify, it doesn't matter. So these two sides right here, 38.9 centimeters long. And we still have to add in side 3 plus side 4. So if we subtract the 38.9 from both sides, that's going to leave us with 58.9 is going to be side 3 plus side 4. So it says, what is the length of the other two sides? It doesn't want them individually, it just wants them both together. And that's what this says, both sides together, added together. And that'll give us our 58.9 centimeters. And the next one, which figure has a greater perimeter? You just take all the values that they show you, and if they're missing one, use what you know about the shape to be able to fill in the values. You add all those sides together, and you just click on which one's bigger. So if you, for looking at this one, this is a trapezoid, so perimeter is going to be equal to 25 plus 69 plus 25 plus 81, and that's actually an isosceles trapezoid because those two are the same. The perimeter for this one is going to be 200 yards. And then looking at this triangle, perimeter for that is going to be side 1 plus side 2 plus side 3, or 75 plus 75 plus 75. So the perimeter for that triangle is going to be 225 yards. So which figure has the greater perimeter? The triangle does. Last definition for this section, looking at area. Area is the amount of space inside a shape. The units will always be squared. So when we were looking at perimeter, perimeter was the distance around. It's the distance on the outside of the shape. When you're looking at area, area is going to be what's inside of the shape. It's the amount of space that's inside of a shape. And the units when you're working with these are always going to be squared. And the three shapes that you're going to work with first in this section are going to be squares and rectangles. When you're looking at a square, area is going to be equal to side squared. It's going to be that side times that side right there, and that'll give you the whole area inside of there. When you're looking at a rectangle, area is going to be equal to base times height. Other people will do area is equal to length times width. It doesn't matter which way you calculate it. You'll be fine either way. So this would be the base. This would be the height, or length, width, whichever way you want to go. So looking at the example, the first one says, what is the area of the square? So I know I'm working with the square. So area is going to be equal to side squared, if I'm using that formula. Area is going to be equal to the side is equal to 17. So 17 squared is going to give you 289 meters squared. And remember, with area, your units are always going to be squared. Looking at the next one is a rectangle, so area is equal to base times height. Base is this one, height is that one. So area is equal to 4 times the height, which is 7.4. Area for that rectangle is going to be 29.6 inches squared. And then looking at the next one, we can again, which figure has greater area? So you just do area is equal to 13.4 times 16 for the rectangle. Area is going to be equal to 214.4 yards squared. And then if we look at that one, area for that rectangle is going to be equal to 17 times 14.3. So the area for that rectangle is going to be 243.1 yards squared. So which one's bigger? The one here on the right. And they could also have ones where they give you the area and want you to find the values of the sides based on what you know about the shapes. So it says we have a rectangle, so I'm going to start by drawing a picture of a rectangle. And it tells us we have an area of 99 square centimeters. And I like to put the area on the inside, whereas the examples before, whenever I was doing them for perimeter, I was putting the length of the perimeter on the outside. Whenever I do area, I like to put it on the inside to remind me that it covers this whole space inside. So that's 99 centimeters squared, and it has a base of 11 centimeters. So that means that one's going to be 11 centimeters. What is its height? Well, I know if this one's the base, that one's got to be its height. And if I go back to the formula for a rectangle is area is equal to base times height. Well, we know the value for area. The value for the area is 99 is equal to base. We know the value for the base is 11 times height. If I want the value for height, I have to undo this multiplication. So I'm going to divide both sides by 11, and the height is going to be equal to 9 centimeters. And last one, looking at a square has an area of 9 feet. What is the length of each side? I'll draw a picture of what that looks like. 9 feet squared, and it wants to know what the side is. I know the formula for area for a square is equal to side squared. Area is going to be 9 is equal to side squared. Well, we want to know what side is, and the way you undo a squared is to take the square root of both sides. Square root of 9 is 3, is going to be our side, and to put the units on it, 3 feet is going to be the length of the side.